Hello friends, Mrs. Cahill here, and I am here to do another lesson in reading. So I love spending time with my cat. I have a cat, her name is Elsa. She doesn't live at my house, she lives at my grandparents' house because my grandparents raised me and she just loved to stay there, so I had to leave her there when I moved to my house. But I love spending time with her when I go there. Her favorite thing to do is lay in the sun. So we have a big window in the front of our house, of my grandparents' house where I grew up, and she lays there in the sun and stretches her body and she gets so happy. You can just tell because she's purring. You know what purring is when they go purr. It's so cute. And that's how I can tell that she's happy. Sometimes when her hair on her back is sticking up, I can tell that she's angry or mad. And I know to stay away from her. One day, she lost her favorite toy. She has this little toy. It's like a little thing like this, and it has catnip in it, and it's called, oh my goodness, what is it? It is like a thing of dynamite is what it looks like. And it has catnip, and she puts it in her paws, and she goes like this, and she bites on it, and she snuggles with it, and she couldn't find it anywhere, and I could see her looking in her toy bin with her little paw, just checking to see if she could find it, and she couldn't find it, and she was so sad. I bet you can guess how she felt. Have you ever had any experiences like that with your pets at home? You see, my kitty Elsa has feelings and they always change. One minute she's happy, and then she's angry, and then she's sad. And it's not always easy to keep track of her feelings. I need to watch for all the signs that tell me how she is feeling. Then I have to take action and do something about it. Like when she lost her favorite dynamite stick toy, I went on the hunt and I found it downstairs behind a cabinet. That silly kitty, she hid it. Readers, you have to do the same thing. You have to watch for the signs and keep track of how your characters are feeling. Then take action and change your voice to show how that character is feeling. So today, boys and girls, what I want to teach you is that readers expect our character's feeling to change throughout a book. And then, when their feelings change, readers take action. They change their voices to match how that character is feeling. Readers meet characters along the way. Learn about the character. Pay attention to other characters too. Reread to learn more about the character. The one we added last time, bring the character to life. And today, notice when feelings change, then change your voice. Just like if they're happy, change it to sad. The last time we were together, we read a chapter of the book Mr. Putter and Tabby Cat, Drop the Ball. Today, we're going to read another chapter and pay attention to how those characters are feeling, just like we did the last session. But make sure that you change your voice, just like our paper said. We need to notice when the feelings change of our characters and then change our voice. So here is Mr. Putter and Tabby Drop the Ball. We are going to hop to chapter 5. Let me see. Yes, it is. Because we read chapter 4 the last time, and we noticed that Mr. Putter was a little bored, and Zeke decided to get all excited and run off with the ball, and Mrs. Teaberry was worried. And Tabby Cat was feeling pretty good because baseball was fun. What a day. Now when we read, you can read with me, and make sure that when you are reading, you pay attention to how the characters are feeling and change your voice when you read. Here we go. What a day. Another batter came up. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Swing and a ground ball to third. Mr. Putter couldn't watch. Glomp. Zeke got the ball and ran around in circles. The other team scored again. I can see by looking right here that Mr. Putter is feeling maybe a little anxious because he doesn't want to look and see what Zeke is going to do. The Yankee Doodle Dandies were not happy. They benched Zeke. Stay, they said. No way, thought Mr. Putter. The score was tied 2-2. If the other team scored again, the Dandies would lose. A batter came up. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Swing and a hit to outfield. Mr. Putter leaped into action. He ran for the ball. It was rolling, rolling. He'd have to bend down to get the ball. Mr. Putter tried to bend down, but his knees said, no way. The Dandies were about to lose. But then, glomp, Zeke got the ball. Zeke looked at Mr. Putter. Mr. Putter looked at Zeke. Then Zeke jumped. He jumped and put the ball right into Mr. Putter's mitt. Looking at this picture of Zeke, I can tell that Zeke is feeling pretty happy. And I can imagine that Mr. Putter might be feeling just a little bit surprised. Then Mr. Putter threw that ball to home. And because the batter was 100 years old and hadn't gotten there yet, the Dandies got him out. Hooray! The game ended in a tie. The Dandies carried Zeke on their shoulders, and they gave Tabby a ride in the Peanuts box. Oh, look at him sitting in the Peanuts box. What a day! Mr. Putter and Tabby and Mrs. Teaberry and Zeke ate 10 free bags of peanuts and drank 3 gallons of water. Then they all found a nice spot in the dugout and took a long nap. Zeke's feet twitched a lot, but he couldn't help it. He was still in the game. And here are our characters. Mr. Putter played outfield. Tabby was a bench warmer. Mrs. Teaberry played shortstop, and Zeke was first base, second base, third base, outfield, catcher, and mascot. Look at all these different books about Mr. Putter and Tabby. We should read some of those. That's the end of our book. So how did they feel in the end? I know that Mr. Putter felt happy in the end because they won, they found a nice place to lay down, and they took a nap. Now, boys and girls, it's your turn. I want you to find a book and think about how those characters are feeling. Give yourself a thumbs up when you are ready, if you have an idea about what book you're going to read. And when you're in that book, when you come upon a character who's feeling a certain way, I want you to give yourself a thumbs up. And then you'll know, I know how this character is feeling. Just remember, boys and girls, today and forever when you write, I mean when you read, and when you write too, but today and forever when you read, remember to focus on the character's feelings and change your voice to match how that feeling is. Boys and girls, give yourself a thumbs up if you're ready for the challenge. Off you go.